Stavo in punta di piedi per vedere dentro. La Austin con il cofano sollevato sembrava uno squalo pronto a inghiottirmi.
Piece of Oil was an amazing piece of animation artwork. I loved the hand-drawn animation in this. It was really beautiful, and I loved the way that this film visualized the child's imagination when talking about the shark, and just seeing how he saw his dad, like his dad in the child's eyes as a magician, as this bigger person. I also loved all the metaphors in this film. It made oil seem like this beautiful, mystical thing. And showing oil as being peaceful is also very interesting, as of course oil has brought a lot of conflict to our world. So seeing it as peaceful was a very interesting take for this film to go into. So I thought that was very interesting, and I just loved how everything was visualized and brought to life with this animation. So overall, a really beautiful film, and I really enjoyed it.
The Piece of Oil. Well, this film had nice artistry. The detail of the sketch drawing animation had very little color, but made for an attractive cartoon. It drew me in with its storytelling and how a former engineer is an uncle to a niece who is sharing his passion and knowledge for car parts and tools, and she really takes an interest in what he's telling her. The title, I think, The Piece of Oil, alludes to using oil sensibly, of necessity, for engine parts or lubrication, I suppose, in any machinery, versus burning. I think that's what the message must be about, because it certainly doesn't speak to any fossil fuel discussion. Just a really nice little story, and worth seeing.
The Piece of Oil was really interesting. I've never heard like a positive perspective or a positive spin on crude oil, motor oil, or like any fossil fuel. So I think this was a really unique perspective that most people probably haven't heard of before. I think you pose a strong argument, and also looking into the people who provide oil. Like there's so many people that go into drawing these finite resources that are kind of like lost in the discussion of the world is ending. So I think bringing some humanity into this industry as well is something that hasn't been done before, and I think you do it very well. It was a really cohesive piece. I think it was shot very well. I think you have a great mix of information as well as like an emotional draw and humanity in it, which makes it so compelling of a piece. And overall, it was done very, very well. Good job.
This was a cute animated little piece that expresses the relationship between the grandfather and grandchild. It showcases a lens on their relationship, and I envisioned a Sunday afternoon on a summer day by the garage as he works on his cars. And a child is always curious as to what any adult is doing ever. And so it makes sense for this kid to come over and sort of be amazed by the simple chore of an oil change. And this is a teachable moment for the child, and you can see the growing passion within them as they line up the tools, trying to learn which tool is what. And my favorite scene in this piece is when the child is hanging from behind the wicker chair, and the grandfather is worrying that the kid is going to break the chair, and reminds himself that she doesn't weigh more than a butterfly. I think that moment is very genuine and very realistic, and it really made me laugh and feel that the piece was very wholesome in that sense.
This was a really thoroughly delightful video. I really enjoyed just sitting back and watching this one and hearing this sort of full circle appreciation story for motor oil, which, especially nowadays, we don't hear a lot of good things about motor oil or fossil fuels in general. So this, in that regard, was refreshing. It was really sentimental and put together rather sweetly and interesting to me. Growing up in an Italian household, I heard the word papagallo a lot, but never in reference to a hook spanner. So I thought that was interesting, something just for me as a reminder to kind of look in and check with the old guys and see where that came from, because I thought that was interesting. All in all, really a pleasant film. Job well done.
The piece of oil, nice short, very well done. I think it was great to use the oil. In this case, the oil used for cars and machines, and as a mean for the main character to reconnect with his past life, especially funny and happy moments, happy memories with his father, and how he started working on cars, how his father taught taught him about how fixing cars. I think it was a good trip down the memory lane, you know. At the same time, I did enjoy the animation quite a lot. I think it was a great usage of colors and excellent technique. The animation feels real, feels fluid, feels very professional. I'm sure the filmmaker took a long time to realize this short, but it was very well developed, very well done, and above all, engaging and entertaining. So, congratulations, good job.
I really enjoyed the animation style for this piece. I think it worked really well for telling the story in a really imaginative way and for covering a wide span of time. I think it captured the story really well, and I loved the metaphor of the shark and the different metaphors within it. Really interesting.